Hello everybody, here is this week's Unit 4 feedback, and I'm going to take a look at your notes first for each person. Let's see if we can fit them in this little screen here. There we go. So Ivy, shutter speed is like equivalent to sport mode. That's actually a fast shutter speed. And then the depth of field, I think a lot of people struggled with that one. Yeah, it's almost like if you can't get it clear through to the distance, like your horizon, then you might as well just go with shallow depth of field, which would be focusing on your subject and the background's blurry. And for you, you could use your portrait mode for that. Yes, so that's what you're explaining here. Okay, so as far as your clouds go, I was looking at those, and that's your light meter reading. Okay, so we're going to work a little bit more on the light meter thing, because it's kind of complicated, but it is a really helpful tool. Hold on a second. So I think this is a great example of using a fast shutter speed to capture your dog in a frozen moment. This is adorable. So good job on that one, Ivy. It looks like I'm going to have to do that each time. That's okay. So this one, I think what you wanted to do is create a deep depth of field so that you could see everything throughout the image all the way into the distance. I mean, like your objects in the foreground, the tree, and the tires and these things here, those are all clear. However, you see that even just the car, which is in the middle ground, is a little bit blurred. And then in the distance we have some blur. So this would be actually a better example of a shallow depth of field than a deep depth of field. And one more. And there's your beautiful clouds. See, a lot of photographers don't like it when they get those rays of light, and I love it. I think it's gorgeous. And this little beautiful purple sunspot here. Now, in order to get all the points for this assignment, I'm going to need you to look back on your camera, or actually you can open up the file in Photoshop and go to File, then File Info, and tell me what your settings were for this image. So that was part of our assignment. And as far as like getting all of the detail in your highlights, you do have some detail missing there, and I think a little bit missing in the shadows too, but that's just something that we're working on, so I don't want you to worry too much about that. A perfect light meter reading will get all of those things for you, so we're going to work on that this coming week as well. But other than that, well done. This one, and then we've got Madison. And Madison, she says, okay, so this is going back to Unit 3. Are there other compositions? There's so many others. And, I mean, you can just look them up all day long. However, one of the most fun is to break the rules. Just take what you think looks amazing. But I find I often do use the rule of thirds, and I leading lines and things like that. Those are always really helpful compositional rules. And here is your, let's see, that was Unit 3 questions. This is your photo walk. Once I start recording, I can't seem to change the size of the window, so forgive me for that. And like you said, this is a great example of framing. We are missing a little bit of detail in, in the shadows here, but I still think it's a wonderful picture, really cute. And if this had been a raw file, you could have brought all of that detail back in. So you can look back into shooting raw. Now this one I think was from your phone. However, I still really like it. Really, really like it. I mean, I wonder what the size of this image is. Not very big. But I would crop it out in Photoshop and play around in there a little bit. I think it's beautiful. I love this framing, which looks to me like kind of like an old car window, maybe. Were you inside an old car? That's so interesting. And then here we've got another example of framing. Let me reel that in. And I kind of like it, to be honest. I'm not a super particular person about, things the subject can't be blurred. Well, why not? It makes it look a little bit like a painting, And then you've got this beautiful clarity with the wooden slat on the fence. The colors all work well together. I might have, and this is just me, straightened out this line just because that's just what's been drilled into me, You gotta have a straight horizon. But I kind of find it interesting. There's a diagonal here and a diagonal here and diagonals. So I think it's an interesting photo. I don't mind it. And I think this one was framing as well, which worked out really well for you with all of the, like fencing and things around your horses. This is beautiful. I love the way the horse's mane is blowing. So there's some nice things about this photo too. And then these cows. Oh my gosh, they are so cute. I love how they're all kind of just lined up in a row and so interested in being photographed. Everyone that's facing the camera is, kind of, you look at them individually, and then, of course, this guy or girl, looks like a girl. I can't really tell if that's an udder or an udder thing. Another thing. Yeah. So anyway, because this creature is the largest, he kind of stands out the most to us. Or she. But I think it's really a nice photo. And I think, not sure, I'd have to look back. This one I love. Love, love, love. It is so sweet and adorable. And, this little guy, I swear this has to be a guy. He is so curious. And, everyone in the background, they seem curious as well, but he's stepping right up there. He's first in line. He's volunteering to be the subject of the photo, maybe have an interview, It's just really, really cute. And nice and straight. Okay, and this one is also from your photo walk. The thing that I really like about this picture is how these two kind of mirror one another. You know, we've got one that's a little bit more in the shadow, one that's in, in the bright sunshine partially. We've got this great horizon, beautiful color. But that mirroring is so interesting to me. It's like they're kind of like back to back, and we see these matching kind of curves. So I like that one a lot. And there's your pup. He looks like, forgive me if it's he or she. I think you mentioned, but I don't remember, sorry. But it looks like someone's been doing a little digging. I like the focus on the one eye. I wish it was a little more clear, when you're doing eyes and you're doing a close-up, if you use your automatic focus, AF, automatic focus, which is pressing your shutter release halfway, and just, make it focus on that one area that you can see really well, and then that'll come out sharper than anything else in the image. So that's a really handy tool. But I am really fond of the softness, and it's just kind of a loving portrait. Okay, and oh, look at that beautiful pup. This is an example of using that focus. So I see both eyes clearly. That beautiful bright light coming through the iris over here, lighting up all of the fur and that wet nose, so cute. And then the background colors, how well they go with your pup here. I would be careful if you're doing a close-up like this to make sure you can see all of the face, but that's just very minor. And last one for Madison's photo walk. These lovely berries. And then this one made me look a little longer, because this appears to be a body of water, whether it is, just a puddle from the storm, or I'm going to guess it might be that, because it doesn't seem like a lake or a big pond or anything. I mean, to me, it seems like some things are above the water. But I think this is really nice. I like the way the plant leads my eye to this mirror reflection. So that's interesting as well. So I think you did a great job on your photo walk. Now for Unit 3, we were to edit 3 photos from our photo walk, and you took new pictures, which is okay. However, I'm not sure that you edited them. I can't see like a before and after. So I would appreciate it, even if you save these for your portfolio, because this is really kind of beautiful. I love this little soft focus effect. The dots of light, that's really pretty. We call that bokeh, like the little blur. And yeah, beautiful little starburst there in the center. And I like how we have detail in the foreground that's blurred, and then in the distance it's all clear. So that's a nice photo. Look at. And this one is really beautiful as well. I really appreciate your sharp focus on this, just this one little area of flame. So I'm guessing this is on top of a candle, but maybe you'd never guess that. It's one of those triple wicks. But this is so pretty, seeing that, burning material as it's, I guess, decomposing, maybe, burning, becoming carbon. but it's just it's a really pretty photo. And this one is nice as well. I love that it's nice and straight. I think you mentioned that this is someone's backyard, which is amazing. Wow, what a beautiful backyard. Huge trees. So this one is nice as well. If this had been a raw file, we would have been able to bring back some of the detail in the sky. So that's one of the things we're shooting for Unit 4. So I would keep those 3 for your portfolio, just to have a collection that you can pick and choose from. And go back to your photo walk from Unit 2 and take 3 of those photos and edit them using the guidelines from Unit 2. Okay? All right, Madison, you're doing great. So here is Melissa. Melissa had a lot to say, which I love. That's the way I am too. Yeah, wow, 200 images. I used to, when I started teaching middle school photography, that was my first position in photography. I would tell them, you have to take at least 100 pictures. And they were like, 100 pictures? And I was like, yeah. How hard is it to take 100 pictures on a digital camera? And here you are with 200. So, yeah, college level. You're our go-getter. Use main settings. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to get kind of lost. And I'm glad that my tutorial helped you, and us just texting back and forth and things like that. So I want you all to know that I am available for you anytime. I really am. Of course I have a day job, but you can still text me during the day and I'll get back to you as fast as I can. So landscape is depth of field, cotton field next to mom's, and then you have your setting. I love that you straighten the horizon line, and then that neon photo, slow shutter. This is so cool. So sport mode. I mean, sport mode is like semi-automatic. It tries to figure out what you're taking a picture of, but it is normally a faster shutter speed for sport mode. And so what I think your camera did was compensated by making this huge ISO setting. But however, it worked out this time. And then light meter. We are definitely going to be working a lot more with light meter, just so you guys can get the feeling of what it's like to choose a correct exposure on your own. It takes time, and you might want to be, in the end, you might want to decide to go half manual and half letting the camera choose for you. That's a quick trick, and you know that I use, I'll check automatic and see what automatic says, and then I'll play around and think, do I want more light? Do I want less light? Do I want more of a blur in the background? Do I want it, clearer throughout? So in that case, I would adjust the aperture. Do I want more of a blur of motion? In that case, I would slow the shutter speed down. So just getting a place to get started will allow you to take the picture so much faster. And by the way, this image is gorgeous. That straight horizon, it just pleases me so much. It's like perfection. Love, love, love. And this is so fun. I swear to you, if you have children, or, you have to babysit children, oh my gosh, take them out and show them slow shutter speed with light trails. They will lose their minds. They'll have the best time. And, you know, even adults, oh my gosh, it's a blast. When I taught middle school, we used to put a light on a string and just swing the string around, and, you know, just, the possibilities are endless. So this is called light painting. And you can look more into it, and it is super fun. So gorgeous color, oh my gosh, so much fun, very lively, exciting. And you've even given your subject, which is like here, room to move into the space in front of it. So a really smart image and perfect to demonstrate shutter speed. Okay, and then here we have your lovely, isn't this a chrysanthemum, I think? Not the best flower person, but I think it is lovely. It's definitely like the star in the light, and like you said, the warmth of it is really pretty. It's funny how it feels warm from the sunshine, but the colors in themselves are not actually super warm. I mean, this is like a pinky beige and like a yellow green, so it's warmish. But it's just that light, just touching on the tips of these petals over here. Yeah, it's a lovely photograph. Well done, I say. As far as being a perfect light meter reading, you know, there are some areas that you could have more detail, but maybe you don't want that, you know. As an example of a light meter reading, this is, you know, you making the judgment of, is this correctly exposed? Do I see detail in the lightest area? Do I see detail in the darkest area? And yes, you know, you do. And maybe it doesn't have the most detail, but this is a creative decision. So I think you made a great shot here. Awesome, Melissa. And Sydney, let's see what Sydney has to say. So she wanted the blurred, background. She used port setting as well. Oh, for the wave, yes. Remember that. Close up. Very nice. So you're getting more used to using the settings on your camera. That's a huge beginning. So here we have this cool little artwork here. And as far as a depth of field example, I think it's very well done. It appears to be nice and clear. We can see all the details. It might not be tack sharp, as my professor used to say, but it is very clear, and in the distance, you know, everything is faded. So that's very nicely done. As far as the subject goes, I would say be careful of taking a picture where you're like to your viewer, whoever's looking at your picture, look at what I saw. Do you know what I mean? So it's almost like someone created this and you said, oh, look at this, rather than creating a shot of your own. So just be careful about that. I mean, this, you know, the horizon and this leading line here kind of does add interest to the photo and what's in the distance. But I would be careful about photographing artworks unless you find a way to make it your own. And what I mean by that is, you know, maybe you could get really close and just make this part of the scene. Do you know what I mean? So you have to take a subject and make it yours. Make it a unique way of seeing something. So I know that was a long, drawn-out response, but I gotta say my opinion, right? Just got a lot of experience with this kind of stuff. Okay, now this is an awesome picture. Awesome. There's so many things I like about it. Yes, that perfect horizon. Oh my gosh, Sydney. I get tears in my eyes when I see perfection like that. I really do. It's lovely. And great example of stop action, fast shutter speed. And then you've got these lines here, these leading lines of this bright light, like pointing to your subject here. So really, really interesting photo. I like how it leads me to the waves and then the first figure, and then I follow this line to the other figures. It's great, and I love the color. The color feels like Kodachrome. I think Melissa might have mentioned something about that, but yeah, I agree. You could see that as a Polaroid. Okay, and then this is your light meter reading. I think you did note your settings. This one, I think you chose a difficult subject. I think shooting at night or in darkness to get this subject might have been not maybe the best idea. I'd have to check and see if you use flash, because it almost appears that you did, unless you have some light behind you that's bringing light to these leaves. Do you see that reflection? But yet the subject itself didn't come out very clear. So yeah, I like the blur in the background. This, it's soft, kind of like a painting. And I like that you moved it from the middle, so it has good things about it. But I think it could just be a little better. It is a beautiful color. Yeah. Anyway, that's just my opinion. But I will check back into your settings that you chose on your camera and see, what I think about that. Okay. All right, everybody. Well, I hope that was helpful, and I will talk to y'all soon. Good night.